Today I'm going to show you how to do the easy replacement of this water filter. And I say it's easy once you know how to do it. I actually had to call a plumber in here because I wasn't sure whether you turn it this way or this way. And I just didn't want to break this off. And you can see that it's wobbling a good bit because you can also see that it's not tied into the bottom here. I don't blame the plumber because that wasn't part of the deal. So I had to make a piece out of plywood, pre-drill the holes on the ends, and in the steel structure, you can see it right there, and I've done that on the other side, right here, because it's all very tight. So I have to move it through here, slide it down. I'll show you how to do that, maybe. That's the wrench I'm going to need later. Gotta find a good place to slide this down. Alright, you want to make sure it's right. Pop it in there. Pass it through as best as you can. So you get stuck. And then you gotta get it in place right there. And once you get the first bolt in, it gets a little easier. I put all my stuff in a metal cap here to help with the bolts. Bolts are over here. So that's just a 1/4 inch bolt going in this pot, and I'm going to put a washer on both sides, so that will help me put it in place. Then I got to get a wrench back there, trying to drill that on inside this little complicated area. There's just way too many pipes to hit, and I'll ratchet it down with some nylon nuts and another washer. So I got to put 2 washers on the other side. Drop one down. Trust me, I'm just going to put that on there. Okay, so that's the first tip, and boy, I tell you what, those 2 extra bolts in there really make a big deal of difference. That's a lot tighter. Yeah, it sways a little bit this way, but the force when you take this thing off is going to be this way and this way when you put it back on. And so you really need to make sure that that's nice and tight. And I feel a lot more comfortable with that. I cinch these down. These aren't bolts that go through. Those are just lag bolts that have the threads on them. And the reason why I used a nylon lock nut is I didn't want that thing to back out. So that's in there really tight, and I feel much better about it. So that's something that I would highly recommend before you even try to take this filter off. It's even moving around a lot less since I put in those 2 screws on this side. There and there. By just going in here like this, that guy is in there real good now, and I'm a lot less nervous about trying to take the filter off. There was 2 things that I was worried about taking this filter off. First, that it was wobbly, and there was a chance I would break these pipes off. And second of all, that I would twist it the wrong way, because I tried it both ways and it didn't seem to be going. And so I had to get a little bit of consultation to realize that when you take it off, you're going this way or clockwise, and then when you put it on, you turn it that way, counterclockwise. This is the outflow and this is the inflow, and you know that because if you look at the top of this, you see in with an arrow and out with an arrow. So I thought you had to drain all of the water out of the system to take the pressure off, but no. All you have to do is shut off the inflow first, then the outflow, hit the red button. So before you take this off with the wrench, you need a bucket down here to capture the water once you hit that red little knob here. And that will release the pressure and a little water will come out. Then you take the wrench. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as far as the film goes, taking it on and off. And I don't want to do it again because I just set it all up. But trust me, it works. Come in here like this. After you shut off the taps, you put a new one in. Make sure you got the right one. Now you've got a hole here and you got a hole here. And inside this, there's a position to put that on. And then you just make sure that the black gasket is in place. And then you twist it back on by hand and then wrench tight it just a little bit this way. And that's all there is to it. don't know if you can see the water there. It's not very dirty at all. It's got a little sediment in it. We're on city water. We're also in a high rock area, sedimentary area. A lot of minerals that were coming out in the water, so that's why we use the filtration system. This is a 10 mil filter. We replaced it with a 5 mil filter. Reasoning, we just wanted to see if the filtration was going to be a little better. I was a little concerned that this would cut down on the flow, but it didn't. You compare it to the new filter that hasn't been used yet, and it's got a, it's got a yellowish tinge to it, what have you. Not too bad. So I'm going to cut into it and see if I can find anything that looks a little more nasty on the inside. Couple other things I like to do is put a little thing here that tells me when I installed the last filter, and this is a year filter, but plumbers recommend actually 6 months, so we'll probably take it off in 6 months, but that's just to remind me worst case. And then, because it was so convoluted, a piece of brown packing tape, put a clear tape over that, and I just wrote the instructions out in case I forget or somebody else is going to replace it other than me. And I'm going to put that right on the filter case. Like that. So that next time when we're going to replace it, the instructions are all written out here. Shut off 2 red valves, hit red button, put a bucket down below, twist off this way, change filter, seat and bottom ring, twist on till seated, don't over tighten it, and then check O-ring. I should have put that up there actually. Check the O-ring, make sure it's not cut. Once you put it on and tighten it up, if it doesn't leak, odds are it's not going to leak. Before I actually cut them open, I wanted to do a test and see how much they weighed. So this is the empty filter, and it's coming in at 16.15 ounces, almost a pound, or 4.59 grams. Here's the one that's been in the filtration system, 44 ounces, or 2.75 pounds. That could be a combination of water, minerals, or 1,247 grams. So a big difference between the dry, clean filter and the one that's been used for a year or so. More like 2, actually. For those of you who like to see what's inside, it's just more of the same material. It's kind of brittle. It looks like it's wound like this on some sort of cylinder. I wouldn't say it's fiberglass, and it's not paper. It's fibrous. It's consistent. Can't squeeze the water out of it. Here's those little veins, they pop off. I just used a hacksaw and just cut this in place. So you have a little plastic here that sits in there at the bottom. You have the ring on top. It sits in the ring at the top. When you twist it on, you could, looks like it's symmetric, so it doesn't matter which way you put it in, which is good to know, I guess. But yeah, like you can see, it's not paper, it's not fiberglass, it's not ceramic. I thought it would be a multi-stage thing actually, but it's not. You can see right there, it's kind of, let's hit it with a screwdriver. You know what it reminds me of? Coconut. It reminds me of the shell of a coconut. Fibrous. Yeah, it's consistent all the way through. So for those who are interested, there you go. That's what your money's going towards. Thumbs up and comments, always appreciated. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more home maintenance tips. Cosplays, builds, making and breaking things coming soon. Or it's already there. Check out my channel.